5-minute countdown, or are we just gonna go straight to it, seeing as it's kind of like pretty late for us?
We'll kind of just go right to it.
Sounds good.
I'll play a little music right here. Once it pops up in the chat that like we're live, then maybe I'll just start recording. What's up with my camera?
Halo 4, right?
Yes, sir.
Dun, 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 dun. Dun, dun, dun. I wonder if I can name it.
Name one.
Song.
I'd be very impressed if you did.
Alright, what would it be?
Do you want me to give you like a hint?
Would you tell me that it's from the Halo 4 soundtrack?
No, I wouldn't tell you that.
Alright, let me see.
I mean, I thought you already got the game right.
I know, I did. Is it
I could tell you like what part of the game it's in.
The Descendancy or no?
So it's not that, but I feel like you're so close.
Revival?
Nope. Let me see. Okay, yeah, I see Ascendancy here, so it's not Ascendancy. It's in the early part of the game. I don't know if that's helpful.
Is Ascendancy too late in the game?
I'm not sure. Without playing it right now, I wouldn't know, but I know that this is kind of early on, and that might be helpful given the context of what's happening in the beginning of the game. Still kind of a long shot. I mean, again, if you got this, I'd be blown away. What's up, Game Warrior?
It's definitely not 117. I know that for a fact.
It's definitely not 117.
I know that for a fact. There's no way. It's not one of the remixes, right?
It's not one of the remixes. Now, this might be a fun little hint. There is a remix of this song.
Okay, then it has to be To Galaxy?
Oh, so close. No.
No?
No, there's only like 3 other songs that you could guess, too.
Requiem?
It's not that. It's not that. There's like 2 songs left that you haven't said yet.
Revival?
You already said that one.
Did I?
Yeah, I love the Revival remix, too.
It's not Awakening, is it?
Yeah, you got it. That's it. Awakening.
Huh. Okay.
All right, I'm gonna start
Nailed
the
it,
podcast.
first try.
I'm gonna start the
You're
podcast.
gonna cut all the other stuff out, right? Like all the other guests? No, I'm kidding.
I want to play that song to start the podcast off, though. The remix of Revival. I love it.
How does that one go again? I can't seem to remember it. Oh yeah, that one's a good one.
It's the one that has like the clapping.
Yeah, that one's a good one. Because I think they used that for the for one of the trailers, didn't they?
I think they did, and they also used it a lot for HCS as well.
Yeah, because I'm if I remember correctly, they had ended up using that for one of the. Do you remember the weapons trailer that they had?
Okay, it was for one of those too.
I'm pretty sure. I'm gonna look it up.
I love the clap.
They kind of it was just at the beginning. I think it was. It's either the Covenant or Foreigner one.
I could definitely see that for sure. But this is definitely from. I remember hearing this during like HCS events. during like the global championship. And then this part right here with the little ding, ding, ding. I don't know what those are, but that's cool. Well, a little bit of a different opening to our podcast right there. I'm not going to play a second song for the sake of playing a second song, but we were talking about some Halo soundtrack songs and stuff like that. And
I was wrong. It was from the Promethean Weapons trailer.
Oh,
that's
Promethean
where it's
Weapons
from.
Trailer. That's a good song for Promethean Weapons.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense.
Electronic-y and all that, you know?
Yeah.
Halo 4, I feel like, has one of the most underrated soundtracks in the entire thing. Like, I mean, everybody loves Marty O'Donnell. And look, I love Marty O'Donnell. I'm not disappointed in any of his music. It's all great stuff. I will say that Halo 4's soundtrack was so different and didn't use the same kind of like harmonies that, you know, if you look at soundtracks for Halos 1, 2, and 3, there were reoccurring songs that he would kind of change a little bit, but you sort of had the same, you know, sounds and everything like that. Halo 4 was like a complete departure. And I remember kind of digging it. Like, I liked the electronicness that was in the music. You know, a little bit. I think if they had given me, like, for me personally, if they had done an all new soundtrack, all new sounds, would have been perfect. But the fact that they didn't include like the main Halo Monk theme at any point, I think is like what kind of threw me off.
Yeah, I guess I can understand why they did that though, because like, you know, they wanted to be their own thing as well, and also they were introducing the Prometheans for the first time, so they had to find something that didn't sound like, it sounded like Halo, but it didn't sound like Marty O'Donnell and like Covenant specific.
Yeah.
No?
And like whenever you hear the monks chanting, like what image in Halo comes to your mind when monks are chanting?
Usually it's the Halo ring, typically.
Right. And Halo 4 has no Halo ring, right? So it's like,
it's got Requiem.
Maybe it would have felt a little bit misplaced if they had the monks chanting, and then you're like, wow, I don't even see it.
Did they allude to it when they did go to the Halo ring in Halo 4?
Ooh, good question. I don't know.
When he like, I'm pretty sure, I feel like they might have alluded to it somehow in the soundtrack.
I'm gonna look this up. This will be good to see. Halo 4. What Halo was that?
Halo
03? Installation 03.
Oh,
I was right. All right, I'm gonna play this right now, and we're all gonna listen to it together. Unless there's an ad. Is there an ad? Nope. Here we go. So they're coming out of slip space. Can we hear it? Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I hear nothing. It's fine.
Oh. Sounds very Star Wars-y right now, actually. Alright. Ships are flying. See Mr. Chief on his thing.
Cortana.
Still here.
Chief's talking to Cortana. Cortana.
A Halo?
There's the Halo.
Installation 3.
Yeah, good call.
For Infinity
You could hear it right there.
coordinates.
Let me back it up just a second.
A Halo?
I was pretty certain that
Installation 3. It's where Infinity.
Okay, that might be like the only point in the entire campaign you hear the oh. It was like maybe a couple seconds. That's interesting. I didn't remember that being in there. Well, there you go.
Yeah,
they saved it for the Halo.
It was alluded to.
There you go.
Makes sense though, considering that, you know, they had a Halo ring at the time. So
now Halo 5 brought the monks back, and you could hear the monks in the main menu. I actually dug the main menu music. I actually really liked it a lot. But yeah. So
yeah, the main menu music was cool. I mean, Halo 5 has some pretty underrated music too.
yeah, that's another soundtrack I really loved. So I was really happy with the direction that they went for Halo 5. It felt a little bit more of like the old timey kind of like sounds, but Like it was just like less digital, I guess, than Halo 4 was. Although there was like they did make a lot of use of synthesizers and stuff. I don't know. I dug the Halo 5 soundtrack. It's one of my favorite soundtracks, I think, in the whole series.
I can't think of a soundtrack or an album that was terrible for Halo.
Yeah, me neither. They've all been solid.
Like Halo Wars, even Halo Wars 1 was pretty solid. Halo Wars 2 was very underrated, but it was really good too.
You know what? I don't know those soundtracks. That's interesting.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Really
I enjoyed Halo
them.
Wars 1 soundtracks.
The one I listened to the most is definitely Halo 2. I remember having that on a CD player and playing that on field trips and stuff like that, just listening to the soundtrack on repeat.
Oh yeah?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And you're just walking out to the guitar?
Kind of. There's a trip to Washington.
Just on the bus and you're like, meow, meow, meow. Just air guitaring it.
No, there's a friend
just like bobbing your head.
No, the friend who introduced me to Halo, his name was Marlon. He and I were on a bus ride, and like he had one of my earbuds, I had the other earbud, and like we fell asleep on the bus, like listening to the Halo 2 soundtrack. We were just so into it. I was just so into Halo 2, so into that freaking soundtrack. It was so good.
Oh, nice. That's cool.
Yeah, I dug it. If you had the option of bringing Marty O'Donnell back for future soundtracks, would you, or would you rather kind of keep going with whoever they have now?
It would only have to be done if Marty wants to do it.
Well, I don't think
genuinely wants to do it.
Yeah, I don't think he would take the job if he genuinely didn't want to do it.
Right, but I mean, like, if he's strapped for cash or something.
Oh, I see what you're saying. I need the cash, guys. Come on, let me just make some songs.
Yeah, exactly.
Fair enough.
No, but like, if he kind of just genuinely wants to do it, then yeah, I'm all for it.
Yeah, I'd be for Marty.
If he doesn't want to, and they try to like offer him like a really, really good like something, and they kind of just try to force it on him, right? Then yeah, it's no bueno.
You don't want to get somebody who's doing something out of obligation. You want that heart and that passion there behind what they're doing. Yeah, I definitely get that for sure. I'd like to see Marty again. I miss him. I miss the whole. And here's the deal. Like you had Marty O'Donnell and Michael Salvatore. You had Neil Davich for Halo 4. You had the only reason why I don't know his name is because it's not a name I'm super familiar with, but I think his last name was Kazuma, who did the Halo 5 soundtrack. I have no idea the names of the composers for Halo Infinite. I don't know who they are because there's like 3 or 4 different ones. I'm gonna look it up.
Wasn't
right
it
now.
Neil Davich?
Neil Davich. He was Halo 4.
Was he Halo 4?
Yeah, oh. Halo Infinite is Gareth Cocker,
Curtis Schweitzer,
Joel Korlitz, Curtis Schweitzer. I thought there was a chick in there too. No, it's just those 3. Okay, Gareth Cocker, Joel Korlitz, and Curtis Schweitzer. How about that?
There you go. Yeah.
There you go.
Okay, I mean, I do enjoy the Halo Infinite soundtrack, so.
No, like, I like it too. I just don't know, like, I didn't know their names. Like, why did I know the names of the other ones, but I didn't know the names of the new guys?
Maybe because there's 3.
Maybe because there's 3. I feel like they didn't make as big of a deal of the Halo Infinite soundtrack either. Do you remember when Halo 5 was coming out, they had those sprint episodes? Yep. There was a whole episode dedicated to the new composer, and them making the song "Blue Team," which is kind of like a new rendition of "Blue Team." No, I mean from 117 from Halo 4. Sorry, my brain is broken, so excuse me. I need to drink some. I need to eat some pickles.
DaddyTrax.exe not working. Error.
Yeah, exactly. I need some of that pickle juice, dude. I gotta get some of them pickles. You know what I mean?
No, you're not allowed to have pickles. It makes you allergies.
No, pickles are good. Pickles, I can eat cucumbers. I'd have like an allergic reaction to, but I can have pickles.
Wait, huh?
Huh?
Aren't pickles just pickled cucumber?
Yeah, but when they sit in the vinegar and okay, here's my theory. I get allergic reactions whenever I have raw fruits or vegetables. When they're cooked, I'm not bothered by it. So like if I eat like baby carrots, like if I get like one of those little bags, like a snack bag of baby carrots or something like that, I will start getting an itchy throat. My ears get all funky. I have to kind of like rub my ears. I can feel it like, you know, in the back of my mouth and everything like that. Sometimes on my lips, I can feel my lips getting a little bit inflamed. And so I'm like, okay, well, I guess I can't have carrots. But then if I eat raw carrots, no problem. Now, I don't know what the deal is. I don't believe it's the food itself, because it wouldn't make sense that I can eat roasted carrots, but I couldn't have raw carrots. Like people with peanut allergies, it's not like if they throw their peanuts in like the oven for a while and they have toasted peanuts, they can eat them and all of a sudden they're fine. Like no, like a peanut's going to kill you if you're allergic to it, or you know, you're going to have some kind of reaction to it. So I don't really understand why I have the reaction when it's raw, but I don't have the reaction when it's cooked or something like that. So what I think is happening is that I am sensitive to some kind of pesticide or preservative or something that they're putting on top of the raw fruits or vegetables that doesn't come off from simple washing. And when I ingest it, like my body's reacting to it. That I'm convinced of that, because if it's fruit or vegetables, the same thing happens to me. Sometimes I don't get a reaction at all. And that's when I think like, okay, maybe this was like something organic or something like that, you know, and it didn't have like anything processed. So that's my guess. So if I eat pickles, I'm good. I'm totally good. I don't have any kind of reaction at all. If I have, you know, any other kind of food that's pickled, you know, like you can have pickled carrots and stuff like that, like I'm good there too. I think the vinegar kind of like kills whatever's usually in there. So Rabble says grow your own carrots and see if that triggers it. I think that's a good idea. I think I do want to like grow my own food, see if I do have a reaction to it, or see if it's okay. Maybe it really is something in part of the farm process or whatever here in my area.
What I'm getting out of this is that you're just allergic to healthy.
Wow.
You just can't healthy.
Exactly, dude. I need to
not capable of healthy.
I just need to eat meat, just meat only, and then I'll be set.
Yeah, and you can't have the healthy kind of meat either. You're just allergic to it.
Yeah, just all meat and seafood. I'll do that. That's not
they
bad.
Have a diet that's like that, right?
Oh yeah, well there's the carnivore diet, which is all meat. Then you have, there's another diet out there I remember hearing about, I think called the lion's diet, where all you eat is, I want to say it's just beef, which I don't know if that makes a lot of sense. I don't know how many lions are hunting down cows.
The lion's diet, all I think about is just the idea of like you just lying about what you eat.
Yeah, I'm doing the lion diet. The lion diet, what's that? I tell you, I'm just eating a bunch of healthy shit.
Hey!
Yeah. That's such a dad joke.
Got him!
Yeah. Got him! I might do that from now on, dude.
Just what kind of diet are you on? You lost some weight. I'm on the lion diet.
I'm on the lion.
What does that mean?
Diet.
I'm lying about it.
Got him!
You're just looking for a high five that you're just not gonna get, like right after. Or is that just me? That might just be me.
No, I like it. That's definitely
at work. I'm looking for a high five and just like nobody. Everyone just turns around and walks away and just like, oh well, crap.
But yeah, dude, maybe I'll switch to all meat. You know, maybe I'll do meat and cheese. I heard that's like another way to do it too. Is you can do meat, butter, and cheese, and that's it.
Meat, butter, and cheese.
Yeah, something about it being it's all like animal product stuff. But you're not supposed to have milk because of the enzymes or something. I don't know, dude. I don't adhere to any diets. I'm just telling you the random stuff that shows up on my YouTube feed.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, so you're trying to gain weight then. Got it.
I'm not even trying to look. I'm just trying to eat food where I don't get swollen in my throat. You know?
Yeah.
Why'd you say it like that?
Yes.
JJ Fit says, eat your veggies. But if I'm breaking out eating veggies, they're not good for me. It's not healthy. Anything that your body's going like, hey, we're going to slowly close your air pipe because we're going to have an allergic reaction to it. It's like, I don't know if I should have my veggies, you know? Maybe I just got to find the right veggies. That could be another thing. Maybe I'm eating the wrong kind of veggies, you know?
We're just going to put like a bunch of platters in front of you of veggies and see what. I'm laughing at what JJ Fit says. Sorry, find the veggies you can tolerate.
That's not a bad idea. Like maybe I'll go to the grocery store and get a bunch of different kinds of veggies, and then like every week we'll try like maybe towards the end of the show, I'll try eating carrots. I'll try eating peppers. You know, we can do like one thing at a time, and I can say, okay, I can feel it. Then you guys will hear my voice slowly start like closing off. You know. That's not a bad idea. You want to do that?
That sounds like a terrible idea.
Really? I thought it sounds entertaining.
I'm thinking you might just get this placebo effect or something where it's just like you're just gonna shove whatever the first vegetable down your gullet is, and you're like, yeah, I don't know, I do feel like a little bit of like stinging in my lips or something, you know? Like,
no, it's a real physical. It's like an obvious physical feeling for sure.
I think we'll do a veggie roulette. We'll just do like a mystery veggie roulette or something.
A mystery veggie roulette. So
yeah,
I'm just gonna eat vegetables and not even know what they are.
You don't know what you're eating.
But if I think I'm allergic to all of them, that doesn't do anything.
Who said that it has to be all in one day?
I'm gonna try. I'm gonna go to the store. I'm gonna get some vegetables, and we'll do it next podcast. Towards the end of it, I'll try. I'll start eating something. Maybe like 30 minutes in or an hour in or something like that. I'll start eating something, and then.
Yeah. I do remember this one time, that like my friend, he hates mushrooms. Right, mushrooms are just like
mushrooms.
Like he hates them, and he knows exactly when there are mushrooms in any kind of dish.
Really?
Right? So yeah. So I made him nachos and I diced mushrooms and put it in there, and he didn't even know at all that mushrooms were in there. Right? And then I broke it to him right after. I was like, once he was done eating, I was just like, so you like the nachos? He's like, yeah, it was great. And I was just like, oh, awesome. Did you notice the mushrooms that were in there?
What did he do?
No, there were no mushrooms. Oh man, my stomach is hurting now. Like, he just started complaining. No idea.
That's crazy.
So there we go. We got to do the mystery veggie roulette.
Sounds good to me. I'll get some vegetables. We'll spin a wheel, see what I'll eat, and we'll try it out. We'll see how it goes. I'm thinking of starting with baby carrots because I'm almost certain of like anytime
He's
I eat
already
carrots.
thinking about it.
Yeah, we'll do baby carrots next week. I'll eat them, and then maybe you guys get to hear my voice get all raspy and everything like that.
And then how will we know if you're just not faking it?
I'll be honest. Like, there's nothing for me to gain by being like, oh my God, I'm dying. I'm allergic. Like, you know, look, I would love to find fruits and vegetables that I'm not allergic to. You know, and I'll let you know the different things that I'm experiencing. You know, like tonight I had guacamole. I didn't get the lip tingling, but what I have right now is this feeling back like here, almost for anybody who's listening, from like my microphone's in the way, from like my sternum up to like my neck, that area right there. It feels kind of like tight. Like it feels tight. Like it's not affecting my voice, and I'm not getting anything going on in my in my mouth. but this area here feels tight, almost like it. You know what? Have you ever like eaten something that was like too big and it goes down anyway, and then you can kind of like you have that lingering kind of feeling, like almost like like it almost like stretched out your windpipe a little bit. You know what I mean?
Keep going.
Have you ever swallowed like an ice cube?
No.
You've never swallowed an ice cube? All right. Well, I don't know how to talk about this then. If you've ever eaten something, or maybe like you're eating like a shredded pork or shredded chicken, and maybe it's a little dry, and then you eat like kind of like a big chunk of it, and then like kind of has a hard time working its way down. Do you know what I'm talking about?
You're painting a very pretty picture.
Okay, I'm just saying. If you've ever had that happen, there's that lingering kind of feeling you have afterwards, like like something doesn't feel right inside. That's how it feels right now for me, just eating guacamole.
Right. Okay. So you got lingering chunks of guacamole down your gullet.
No. It went
You're
down.
feeling lingering chunks of guacamole down your gullet.
Like guacamole is kind of like pasty almost, right? Like it goes like there wasn't guacamole that got stuck. It was like my body had some kind of reaction as it was going down my windpipe.
It was reacting to guacamole going down your throat.
Yeah, right. Because there was something in the avocado.
I thought you had guacamole.
Well, like you use avocado to make. God damn it! Like I didn't know right there if you didn't know what was in guacamole, and I didn't want you to feel like an idiot. So I was like, well, how do I say this without making him feel like, oh, I didn't know that. You know, like here I am going out of my way to try and save you, and you're just letting me fall off a cliff.
No, the rope is coming. It's just not long enough. Maybe the cliff might be having a hard time with the rope.
You're like, avocado? I thought you ate guacamole. I'm like, damn it. What do I do here? How do I help him?
Oh, that's why I giggled early, so you knew I was kidding.
Thank you.
I could have just kept going.
You could have.
Let you explain.
You could have. You could have. You 100% could. You could have been like, I've never heard of that. I'd be like, wait, really? Dude, you gotta have me going for a while.
I've heard of an avocado, but not an avocado.
Like an avocado. It might be the same thing. An avocado. But yeah, all right. So tune in next week, or download the episode next week to hear me choking on carrots. Did you get a chance to see any of the Halo World Championship go over this past weekend?
Negative.
All right. Well, it was one of the most enjoyable events I've ever watched when it comes to Pro Halo.
Really?
It was awesome.
Okay, so who are the teams that were playing?
Well, there was a bunch of them. So there's 8 North American teams, 2 teams from Europe, 2 teams from Asia, 2 teams from New Zealand / Australia, and then 2 teams from Latin America. So 16 teams total. So it really is like a world championship, which is really cool. Most of the time, it is the North American teams that basically dominate everybody else, just because all the pros are here. Anybody who's been playing Halo for a really long time is here. There's more people in the population here who are playing, so you get better talent. Most of the esports, especially in Asia, there are other games that are there that are just widely more popular, more played, more money involved. So, when you're looking at Halo as a first-person shooter, it's just not as popular in that area. So typically, the most talented players are going to be the ones that are in North America. What was really cool is that there were a lot of upsets during this tournament. E United bounced out fairly early. I forget exactly what they finished, but this is a team that had Snipe Down on it. It had Ryan Noob on it. This is the team.
Wait, Snipe Down's still going?
Not anymore. He actually just retired announced his retirement right after the tournament.
Oh, okay.
He is now on FaZe's Apex Legends pro team, which makes sense. It makes total sense because he was playing that.
So wait, hold on. He announced his retirement from Halo, but is still a pro player?
He's a pro player for a different video game. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, a bunch of upsets, a bunch of teams kind of showing up and making a real good mark, and that's what's really cool. One of the biggest issues that I had with Halo 5 when it came to the pro scene is you basically knew what team was going to win. For the first 2 years, Tox, the team of Lethal, Snakebite, Royal 2, and might have been Royal 1 at first. Now he's their coach. And Frosty. No, so it was always those four. So they won like every single tournament in Halo 5 up until 2000. I forget exactly when the year, what year it had changed, but suddenly they started losing to a team called Splice. So during Halo 5's lifespan, you had basically two teams who won all the tournaments for the most part.
Okay.
Winning most of the LAN tournaments, but certainly the World Championship Series always fell to the same two teams. Tox won 2 years in a row. Splice won 2 years in a row. So that Splice roster coming into Halo Infinite became Cloud9. Okay. Splice, the organization dropped out, but those players were still around. So, I mean, there were some changes. But basically, that roster became, or was picked up by Cloud9. The Tox roster was picked up by an organization called Sentinels. So for me, going into this pro season, I really didn't want to see Cloud9 or Sentinels winning a whole lot, just because they dominated the last game, and I want to see somebody new. So right out of the gate, a team called E United wins the first. I think it was the first LAN. E United won, and then there were a bunch of them, and then Cloud9 was really looking kind of dominant. And then towards the end there, Optic Gaming sort of showed up, won the last LAN, the last two LANs was looking really, really good. And so coming into this tournament, I was rooting heavily for Optic Gaming. I really didn't want Cloud9 because it was that Splice roster, even though like there's a bunch of changes. And I really didn't want Sentinels. So what was cool is this Optic Gaming team comes in, and they get all the way to the finals. Okay, Cloud9 gets defeated early on by some other team, which was a giant upset. And so it was really cool to see that upset, and all of a sudden Cloud9 is about to get kicked out of the tournament. So everybody's like, whoa, like what's going on here? This is crazy. So Cloud9 then defeats every other team in the losers bracket, making their way to the losers bracket finals. So they beat all the teams in the losers bracket and then play Optic Gaming in the finals. Okay. So at this point, Cloud9 has lost one series. Okay. Optic Gaming has not lost any of their series because the tournament is designed where it's double elimination. So you have to lose 2 series in order to get kicked out of the tournament. So Optic Gaming versus Cloud9. Cloud9 wins the first series. So now Optic Gaming, so they play their first best of 7. Optic Gaming loses 3 games to 1 because it's best of, or 4 games to 1 because it's best of 7. So the whole thing gets reset for the final best of 7. So like they went the distance with the amount of games that you can play and the amount of, series that you can play. And so then, in the final series, it was just this amazing skill, amazing talent from both teams that really showed up. Cloud9 has this new guy named Bound, who's just insane to watch. The way he moves around the map, it almost looks like he's playing Halo 5 in Halo Infinite. Like, he's moving around so quick, you would think that he has like boosters and thrusters and stuff like that. Just played amazing. I almost started rooting for him and Cloud9 just because of that new player on Cloud9. But in the end, Optic Gaming ended up winning, beating Cloud9. And so, you know, the team that I wanted to win won. And it was just really cool. The whole thing was just really cool. Viewership was over 100,000 for Halo that day. I'll tell you what, I know that there's not a ton of people who are playing the game on Steam and everything like that. I know that there's not a ton of people who are watching Halo normally. But goddamn, when they play Pro, the viewers really show up for Pro Halo. It's kind of amazing, actually. So it was a really cool weekend. Amazing matches, amazing storylines. And from what I heard, there's a bunch of teams that are kind of shuffling and changing, and some big players retiring, and then some big players coming in from retirement. A player that I've always liked, his name is Naded. He couldn't play in season 1 because he had early access to Halo Infinite. And like, he was one of the guys who I think was like kind of helping them with everything. So he would have had some kind of like advantage that the other pro players would not have had. So he wasn't eligible to play in season 1. And I think there's a couple other pros who have that same kind of, you know, thing. So there's going to be a bunch of more names that are sort of recognizable that are going to come back for season 2 of Pro Halo. And that's all going to get kicked off in December. So I am super thrilled and super excited for HCS season 2. It's something I really enjoy. I absolutely love it. So that's just a little bit about the tournament, what happened, and everything that went on.
Nice.
Yeah.
How long was this tournament? Did it go through the entire weekend, or?
Yeah, so the tournaments normally, I don't know if they start on Thursday or if they start on Friday. So the World Championship is a little bit different from all the other tournaments. Normally what they do is they have an open bracket where basically if you, me, and 2 other people wanted to go, we could put our names up as a team and we could compete. And if we do well enough, we could end up getting a chance to play against these pro teams, you know, in order to win the tournament. It never happens because the best players are on the teams and organizations that already exist. But it's technically possible that we could go and beat every single team and end up, you know, winning a tournament as, you know, people who just showed up. So I think the open bracket, the open play, I want to say that starts on Thursday, but maybe it starts on Friday. Most of the teams that you know, I believe, start on Friday, definitely play on Saturday. And then usually what they'll save for Sunday is the losers bracket final, or the winners bracket final, the losers bracket final, and then the final. So tournament goes the entire weekend.
The whole weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And they had some drops for that too, right? If I remember correctly.
Yeah, they had some drops. I don't know exactly what they were because I don't really watch it for the drops. But yeah, they did have some drops, and they put out some kind of armor. I'm actually gonna turn on my Xbox and pull it up here. They put out something that you can buy in the Halo Infinite store. They have it looks like an olive branch wreath, something like you would see on an athlete from like ancient Greece or ancient Rome or something like that, sort of like hovering like above the Spartan's helmet. I actually think it looks really cool. But they have that as something that you can buy as part of like the Halo Champions bundle or something like that. I'm gonna look it up right now, see how much it is.
Oh, it's something you buy?
Yeah, it's something that you can get separate from the Twitch drops. Like they had the Twitch drops, you know, a bunch of different camos and stuff like that, and then but they have something else that you can buy that's kind of like celebrating the whole thing.
Oh, is that what that is? Okay, because I hopped in Twisted stream last night, Twisted Shots TV, former podcaster, I guess. I think he's gonna jump into podcasting again. Yeah, we had him on the podcast at some point.
We should have him back
I think
on.
it was in
Yeah, here it is.
February.
The Halo WC 2022 Victory Bundle. How much is it? Oh, it's only 800 points. That's not bad. I like the armor. It's like gray and black.
Oh, okay. I mean, that looks kind of cool.
The BR looks
Suppose.
pretty slick. And then that wreath thing on the head. Like, I really actually dig that.
The little
I'm calling it a wreath. That's not right.
Olympian.
Yeah.
There's got to be a specific term for it.
I'm sure there is. I believe that those are olive branches. I could be wrong.
What does it say for the thing on the actual the actual item?
Oh, laurels.
Laurels.
Laurels. LAURELS.
Bay laurel.
Oh, those bay leaves?
Like the Pokemon?
No, like the stuff that you put in like chicken noodle soup.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, when I search up laurel, they immediately come up with bay laurel.
Interesting. Very cool. All right, well, that's that then.
Interesting. Yeah. That's kind of cool to see. I guess it's kind of cool to see it floating over the Spartan's head. Helmet.
Yeah, I think it looks really neat.
A nice change of pace as opposed to having the kitty cat ears or the bunny rabbit ears and all that kind of stuff. I like the little hill ring, I suppose.
Yeah, I'd love to see a Fracture event that has like Roman or Greek helmets and stuff like that.
Ooh, plot twist. What if it is one of those hints? It's just like, hey, you want just a little hint at one of our next events?
Hey,
Might
look
be
what's
Roman.
coming up. I wouldn't mind like a whole bunch of armors that are like ancient warfare, like having the what's the one nation that they kind of look Greek but they were like a little bit skinnier? Carthaginian armor helmets would be really cool too.
You know that off the top of your head? What in the heck?
Yeah, let me Google it real quick.
Carthaginian? I've never heard of that. Whatever that is.
Carthaginian.
Have we seen it in like a movie or something? That kind of era?
I don't know.
Oh.
Yeah, here you go. Well, they have like sort of like rounded sides, but I mean, I don't know. It's all. Oh, here we go. Ancient Carthaginian helmet. Yeah, they look like the Greek helmets kind of, but like they look scarier in my opinion. I'll put an image of one in our Discord so you can kind of get an idea of what I'm talking about. Oh, that's a Corinthian. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm thinking of Corinthian. Whatever. At the end of the day, there's a ton of helmets from ancient Greece, ancient Rome, ancient Mediterranean warfare that would be really cool.
Yeah, that could be cool. That could be cool. Get the big ass shields out there.
Oh yeah.
Don't we have some of that in Halo MCC though? I'm pretty sure we do.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we do. All right, I just put a link to it in our. Here we go. I am just putting a link to it in our Discord so you can kind of see exactly what I was talking about. I mean, it looks fairly Greek, but I don't know. I want that kind of stuff.
The helmet that you put up reminds me of the helmets in 300.
Yeah, I mean,
Spartan
they would be.
helmets.
Yeah, they have that kind of like the eyes and then like that thing coming down in the middle. Different nations had like slight like differences of those, so I'm just saying get a whole bunch of different ones out there. I think it would be cool. Yeah, the Greek helmet.
I feel this is definitely
cool.
This has to be. I think we've had this helmet or something similar to this in Halo MCC.
Yeah, probably.
Except the difference is they had the whole mohawk thing
right
on top.
Right.
Yeah.
Here's another.
So we do have Carthaginian armor.
Here's another one I'll put into the Discord too. This one looks a little.
Let's get some like Skyrim armor. of like the Dragonborn.
Oh yeah, there you go. Bring it in
That'd
for
be
some of
cool.
the other games and stuff like that. That makes sense to me. God, why is that picture so tiny? Whatever. All right, so that's what I'm talking about. Bring in some ancient history stuff. That'd be cool. See it?
Where am I looking on the Discord again?
On the Discord, if you click on the little picture, it'll blow up.
I would no. I don't want that to happen. I don't want it to blow up. No.
It'll enlarge.
Should have stuck with blow up.
You gave me a hard time about blow up. Okay.
Would have scaled up maybe.
Scaled up, enlarged. You didn't like enlarged?
Enlarged sounds like a weird word.
Does it?
Kind of, sort of.
It's what's happening. You're enlarging it.
Yeah, but I'm also scaling it.
You're scaling it larger. You're enlarging.
Yeah, but you're still not saying enlarged in that situation.
I hear what you're saying. I get it. I got you.
Are you picking up what I'm putting down? That's something I've been learning lately. People are asking if I'm picking up what has been put down.
That's not something that you've said a lot before?
Not really, no.
Really?
No, not really, no.
Yeah, are you picking up what I'm putting down? It's a weird phrase. I think we need a new one. I don't know what it would be.
We need a new one for picking up and putting down. I'm sorry, I've been distracted by the fact that this is a 3D element that I'm able to rotate.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, like people go like, okay, hey, are you picking up what I'm putting down?
You can zoom in! What?
It's like a Zelda
And
character.
zoom out! It's so tiny. It's like an ant.
The idea is like I would put something down and then you go ahead and pick it up. So like you get what I'm saying, right? So maybe it's like, did you open the package I sent you? Are you opening the package I sent you? No, it doesn't sound the same.
No, it doesn't.
Did you get my text?
Which one? You
That'd
send
be
like
so-
500 texts a day to me. Jesus, man.
That would be so confusing. If instead of saying like, hey, you picking up what I'm putting down, they're like, you get my text? And they're like, wait, what? You texted me? What the fuck are you talking about? Like, no, dude, like, you know what I mean?
You're just, yeah. You're
Are
just
you
having
picking
a
up what I'm
casual
putting down about
conversation.
you getting my text? Like, dude, I
text?
don't know what the hell you're talking about.
Do you have my TikTok?
Did you like my video? It's like, all right, this is. We'll just stick with the picking up and putting down thing. I think that works better.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect.
Yeah.
Question I wanted to ask, a little bit of a fun thing. Truth be told, there's not a lot of Halo news. Everything's kind of died down right now. Lots of stuff going on with some other video games and stuff like that. But, Halo news, we're kind of coasting right now. So I wanted to ask, we won't spend a lot of time on this, but I wanted to ask anyway, your opinion, your thoughts. I'm putting you on the spot here. Mystery has not heard this question and has not prepared an answer. What do you think was most important for Halo becoming mainstream in gaming? It's multiplayer or it's campaign?
Can I buy a vowel?
You may. What vowel do you want?
I was asking if I could buy a vowel.
Yeah, I said you could. What vowel do you want?
Oh, right. What's a vowel?
Is this like, what's avocado?
What's the so the question is what again?
Yeah, so okay, like let's look back in time through our time goggles. And
Skilly-doot.
there is a moment in time, come maybe Halo 3-ish, around that time, when Halo, the franchise itself, was an absolute juggernaut. Okay? Now, Halo 3 did not release by itself, and then suddenly it was just a juggernaut of a game. Nope. Halo had some, some kind of warming up to that point. Halo CE came out, Halo 2 came out, and of course Halo 3 was out. But while Halo was getting into the mainstream and really blowing up, not just on Xbox, but just in gaming in general, I mean, many Xbox 360 consoles were bought specifically for Halo 3. Coming up to that point, Halo obviously became popular, mainstream in gaming. What do you think had more to do with it becoming mainstream? Was it Halo's campaign or Halo's multiplayer? What do you think deserves more credit?
Probably the multiplayer experiences.
Interesting. I'm surprised you said that.
I like to keep things a mystery for you. Ha!
Tell me a little bit more. Why do you think the multiplayer?
Well, let's think of the string of how these games had kind of evolved.
Mm-hmm.
Pun intended. We had Halo CE, right?
We did.
Great campaign. Don't get me wrong. But what was the thing that carried for years upon years of the Halo CE, essentially?
Yeah, sure. Split
LAN
screen
parties.
and LAN parties, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Bringing over the Xboxes, right? Having them all hooked up together. LAN parties are huge. Great. Let's move on to Halo 2. The evolution of that, right? We got Virtual Couch, right? From there, you got Xbox Live, and you got the ability to be able to be at home and playing with other people from across the world without having to be in the same room at the same time, right?
Okay.
I mean, the adage of that was like, oh yeah, there's a pretty good campaign in Halo CE and Halo 2, right? But then moving forward to Halo 3, now you have a story that has now picked up for sure for Halo 2, and like, okay, well, we got to finish this fight. Hype trains are rolling, but at the end of the day, most people are still kind of looking at the multiplayer, right? Well, Halo
Sure.
2's multiplayer was fantastic, right? Can Halo 3's live up to it? So at the end of the day, like, you had the introduction of theater mode and Forge, and like the Vidocs were bringing in that kind of hype towards the train. Then what'd you have after that? Halo 3 ODST was basically a campaign only thing.
Mm-hmm.
And that didn't sell as well as Halo Reach or Halo 3, so
That's
that
true.
should account for something. Right? And then Halo Reach, they threw in everything that Bungie like wanted to throw into other games, and they kind of just made this amalgamation of a game called Halo Reach. Right? So like, like moving forward, typically a lot of people will end up like getting excited for multiplayer, and that's the evolution. Did I answer the question?
You did. Yeah, I think it definitely,
Wow,
for sure.
I pulled that out of my ass. It was insane.
I thought it was great what you did. I thought it was great.
God.
I think...
Way to put me on the spot.
I did. I thought you had an excellent answer. So it really does go back to kind of like Halo CE, right? Because like, if you look at Halo CE, you have this campaign, this awesome, amazing campaign. But you do have this multiplayer that people are also experiencing. So it's kind of hard for me to, it's difficult to kind of, for me to really like answer that, because when you're coming into Halo 2, it is mainstream. It is on local news channels. Hey, Halo 2 is releasing tonight, blah, blah, blah. It's this video game for Xbox, whatever. You got celebrities playing it and stuff like that. At that time, you didn't have Xbox Live. People didn't have those experiences. The game hadn't come out yet it was still this thing that people were so hype about, and most people in a lot of those videos were hype about what that campaign was going to be about. So I think there's part of me that thinks like, what, I think that the campaign was really responsible for it, but I keep coming back and thinking about those multiplayer LAN parties, because those were, especially when Halo 2 came out, those were things that were happening in neighborhoods everywhere, so I don't know. It's a difficult question. I think at the end of the day, I'm gonna go opposite you. I'm gonna say the campaign is, more has to do with the reason of for Halo's overall success, because when they're advertising it, when they're looking at the game and everything like that, they were leaning, especially early on, so heavily on Master Chief on Earth, and here we are, we're gonna finish the fight. People knew multiplayer was gonna be there, but all the ads and all the all that kind of stuff really did revolve around what was going on with the campaign. I think once you get post Halo 3, I'm totally there with you. I think most people were probably getting it, thinking about the multiplayer. But so I'm gonna give that answer just to be different from yours. I think that you could go either way, but I just thought it was kind of like an interesting thing. I got the idea from Sacred Icon. They had a tweet put out a while ago about that kind of idea, so I want to credit them for that. But I thought it was an interesting topic for discussion. Yeah, I don't know. Any last thoughts on that one there, Mystery?
Well, I mean, so like when they advertise the Halo games, they always put the Master Chief on there, right?
Good point.
You have like the faceless face of Master Chief, the faceless face of Halo, quite literally. That does all of the advertising for all of the Halo games,
right?
Well, except for Halo Reach, but yeah, or Halo 3 ODST. So there is that. Right. I
Master
feel like
Chief
there are
is the
people,
mascot. Yes. Sorry. Go ahead.
There are people that are invested in the story, or at least invested in the fate of Master Chief. Right. So I feel like there is that. Not to kind of like downplay any of the campaign moments. Especially with like Halo Infinite, right? Like, we were excited for multiplayer, but we were also excited for campaign. We wanted to see what the next chapter was. How are they gonna move forward with Master Chief? Essentially, how are they gonna soft reboot this whole game, this whole franchise? Right. So there was concern there too. But yeah. On another note, I found out something very interesting recently.
Yeah. Okay. What'd you find out?
So, I've mentioned on the podcast previously that I do watch YouTube videos from the Corridor crew.
Okay.
Right. And they recently had a guest on their show from Blur Studios.
No way.
Yeah. And in that video, they were like reacting to like essentially like the evolution of like Blur cinematics in video game in video games.
Well,
right?
That's cool.
And they brought up Halo's anniversary, of course, which was 10 years after the release of Halo 2.
Right.
And the interesting thing that I had found out, or at least I thought was something that I thought was very interesting, is the gentleman had said that they had to make 50 minutes of cutscenes within a certain amount of time. Do you want to take a wild guess as to how quickly they had to make those cutscenes?
Well, because you said how quickly, I imagine that we're talking under a year. Am I right there? All right, you won't even give me that. That's okay. I'm gonna say.
If you're talking, I can't hear you.
Oh, can you hear me now? Oh, you can't hear me right now either. Shoot.
Hello?
What a time to try to give an answer. Is OBS registering my voice? Yep.
All right, I'm gonna refresh.
Hopefully this works. He is coming back in.
Oh, I hear you now.
There we go.
That was weird.
No
I didn't
worries.
hear anything you said.
I heard everything that you said, so I'll pick up right where I was. Okay, so you said how quickly it took Blur to kind of make all the cutscenes. So by that,
how quickly they had to make them,
or how quickly they had to make them.
Yeah, they had a time frame. What was that time frame?
So I'm gonna guess that it was under a year. Am I right so far?
Yep.
Okay, 9 months, just like a baby.
There you go. Nailed it.
Really?
Yeah.
Let's go.
Nailed it. 9 months. They had 9 months to create 50 minutes of cutscenes in the way that they made it. Apparently, he was describing it as like, some like huge like military operation kind of thing.
Why would they wait so long to commission them to do it?
Wait so long or give them such little time?
Both, right? Like if they're looking at a release date for this project, you would think that they would have realized, okay, hey, we want to do the anniversary treatment for Halo 2. We're a couple years out from this thing. Let's go ahead and get Blur to do these cutscenes. Let's hire them. Like, why give them such a small window of time to get it done? That doesn't make any sense to me.
No, I'm not sure why they did that, because I'm not 343 Industries. But I just thought it was really interesting that they had 9 months to create like such high quality cinematics, and it's not easy to do that. Like the 50 minutes of cinematics that look that high quality.
Yeah,
because you're essentially recreating almost every kind of cutscene, which means that you have to take a look at all the cutscenes and see like, okay, well, how can we make this still fit like the world that is the Halo universe, right? At the same time as be able to kind of like still kind of like
recreate the movement,
follow what was already kind of created, so you're not really destroying all of that, right? But still make it interesting for anybody that's old or that has seen those cutscenes before.
Ugh.
Right? Within 9 months, you have to hire actors to kind of like do the motion capture if they're going to do motion capture, right? Like you have to find out what the appropriate angles are going to be. You have to figure out the lighting. You have to figure out like so much. And 9 months that's a time crunch, man.
Yeah, I'm kind of amazed by that. That's really impressive.
Yeah, that they were able to do that.
Oh my
Yeah,
God,
so he kind of described it as like this huge military operation within the company, like, just like hitting those beats as quickly and as hard as he could.
Wow.
I just thought it was really interesting, so figured I'd share that in the podcast.
I want to listen to it. What? Who did this? The Corridor crew, you said?
It was a video where they sit there and kind of react to a bunch of the stuff, but okay. I will put up a post.
Oh yeah, put it in the Discord. I would love to watch it.
Sure.
Very cool. All right. Anything else you want to talk about before we get out of here, sir?
No, that's all I got. That's the only thing I wanted to share.
That's really cool. Yeah, I definitely want to check that out. All right, what do you got going on this week?
Tomorrow is Dungeons and Dragons.
Hey.
So yeah, there's that. Friday is still kind of TBD. Not 100% certain what's going on there. Might be Halo, might not be. Not sure if I'm going to stream. There are things that are kind of going on, so we'll have to see.
Okay.
Saturday, Sunday is fine. I'm working, so I can't make a community game night, unfortunately, because I'm working closing shifts. And then Monday, hopefully Borderlands 2. Oh wait, Monday's Halloween. Oh boy.
Hey.
You
doing anything fun?
I don't know. I have no clue.
I will be working.
But yeah, twitch.tv/REALMISTRY. That's where you can catch me.
Very cool. You can catch me on Twitter at DaddyTrax1. I will probably not be playing any video games over the next week, as I am still completely submerged in my work and getting good at this job, so that way one day I can, buy things like food and groceries and gas. So I will be, neck deep in all that, but you can definitely find me on Twitter at DaddyTrax1. If you're listening to the live stream of this, or you're listening to this or watching this on Twitch or on YouTube, you can find our podcast in audio form on all of your favorite podcast platforms that are out there: Google Play, Stitcher, Spotify, iTunes. And if you are one of our audio listeners and want to kind of hang out with us during the week, we do our live streams every Wednesday night, sometime between 9 and 11 on Wednesday nights. So come hang out with us. Otherwise, we will pop into your ears again next week. So everybody, enjoy the rest of your day. If you're here in the live stream, thanks for hanging out. JJ Fit, Shadow, Rabble, just Rabble, Game Warrior, guys, thanks for hanging out with us tonight and chatting. For anybody who's just watching, thanks for being here. We will see you all next week. Enjoy your weekend. Be safe and all that good stuff. I love you all. Bye bye.
Yeah, check the candy before you wreck yourself. Imagine all sorts of weird things you can get out of trick-or-treating.
Yeah, don't eat those apples.
Yeah, yo. Lord knows what would be in there.
Razor blades. Those always
in the case of Trax, he might just get like a tingly set of lips or something. I don't know.
Yeah, don't give me any veggies.
Oh my god, yeah, if you go trick-or-treating with your kids, I'm gonna like call the neighborhood and just be like, yo, just give them a bunch of baby